I just got done getting the tires mounted and balanced on the new Delta Alliance. I never used to get them balanced in the past, but I got it done one time, and ever since then it has been a huge difference. But I'm going to be doing a separate video on that, so you don't want to miss it and why I actually started to do it. Now, as you guys saw in the title, I basically probably triggered a few people, but yes, I don't recommend a dually for this size trailer. And I'm going to explain that in this video. Now, there's a reason why, and some guys are probably already on the same page as me. I love dualies and I love big trucks. Now, I want to go ahead and get this out the way. I would not purchase this type of trailer to tow behind a half-ton. I'm just going to say it now. I would not do it. These types of trailers tow heavy. I have a race trailer that you guys know. I actually have it around 10,000 pounds. I think it's like 10.4 right now with like the amount of tires. And when I put my wife's car in there, it's literally like 10,400 pounds. This trailer right now is probably around like 7,800 pounds. So I have like another 1,000 pounds of capacity before I get it maxed out. And that kind of weight is nothing for a truck like this. So let's go ahead and unhook. I'm going to show you guys how much this truck's going to squat with this much weight. This is probably over 900 pounds right now. We have quite a bit of stuff in there right now. I've added some features to it. You guys are going to see I actually added a slide topper on the other side, which was super easy. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and unhook, and then I'm going to show you guys how much the truck is going to drop with this. It's probably about 900 pounds or so. And then we're going to get down the road and we're going to talk about why I don't recommend this truck. Let's go ahead and get that first measurement right here. Right there. We're at 7 1/4. Okay, so right now we're at 6 1/2. So what is that? What is that, 3/4? It dropped 3/4 of an inch. So that's the first thing I don't really like about towing these types of trailers with dualies, is it's just not enough hitch weight. I think my black trailer, when it was just my wife's car in there, had about 1,100 pounds of hitch weight. And I don't know what the difference is. Well, I kind of do know the difference. My black trailer has most of the weight over the axle. So when I put a car inside that trailer, most of that weight is distributed over the axle. So it tows so much better. With this trailer, a lot of the weight is distributed around the trailer. So let's go ahead and get down the road. It's super cold out here. I think it's like 24 degrees. So let's go ahead and get down the road. We're going to tow it and we're going to discuss why I don't recommend this. And I'm going to give you guys some options too. Like if you're going to want to tow a trailer like this with a dually, because a lot of guys do. And sometimes they even go smaller. So yeah, if you're looking at a 32-foot travel trailer, you know, here's some options that you'll have. All right, let's get down the road and we'll talk about this big old dually. So, man, it's 28 degrees outside. So we're up 4 degrees. Actually, we're sitting in the sun. That's another reason why. Let me just check my trailer brake. That's good. Turn on my exhaust brake. And tow haul mode should still be on. Yep, tow haul is still on. Got my mirrors extended. I did add the tire pressure monitoring system to the trailer for the GMC trucks. So they do fit on these wheels. I have been getting a lot of messages about issues with the tire pressure monitoring system not mounting. And I have not had that problem so far with both of my travel trailers, my fifth wheel and this one. I haven't put them in my race trailer because I'm thinking about selling that too. So yeah, I guess I'll have to do a follow-up video because I don't know if they would actually work on that one. I'm pretty sure they will though. So the first thing I want to talk about, obviously you guys know the first point. This trailer is probably only putting about 900 pounds of hitch weight, or like probably like in that ballpark, anywhere between 900 to 1,000 pounds of hitch weight on this truck. Now, I could get a weight distribution hitch and it would put some weight on the front, but I feel as though with this setup, I don't think it would tow good with the weight distribution hitch. And that's just my opinion, but I just feel like I want more hitch weight. Like, I feel like this truck needs more hitch weight. And the reason why is it does ride rougher. And I actually notice the trailer back there more because of just how big this truck is. I mean, you have 4 tires back there, and I feel like because of how the weight's distributed on the trailer, it tows a lot different from my black trailer. Like I said, my black trailer has all the weight on the axles. This trailer has it more kind of spread out. And when it comes down to acceleration, I mean, if you have a diesel, 8,000 pounds, like, it's almost like you're unloaded. It really feels like that. But I just noticed, like, when I was driving through the city, like, from my house, like, I noticed the trailer back there. Like, right now, like, I can just feel, you know, the trailer back there. Now, it's not tugging the truck, or it's not moving the truck, it's just definitely back there. And it's because this truck is riding a little stiffer. Normally, when you have 2,000 pounds of weight back there, you'll probably, like, have a softer ride. But this ride's about the same as stock, and that's the problem I have, you know, with this setup here. I want you guys to really see that trailer back there. I'm gonna like kind of jerk a little bit here. Like, you see that? Like, I'm like turning the steering wheel, and that trailer is completely planted behind this truck. The stability that you get with a dually is unmatched. I don't care what anyone says. You can get the best tires on a single rear wheel. Nothing can beat a dually. Nothing. And that trailer is literally planted behind this truck. But the problem is, because you have 4 tires out back, this is not enough weight to squish those tires down. It's not enough weight to squish down the suspension. So again, it rides a little bit stiffer. And the reason why you want more pin weight, like when I was towing my 5th wheel with this truck, 2,000 pounds, it does the trick. I mean, I think 1,500 pounds would do the trick. So if it were me looking to buy this truck to tow this trailer, I would want a golf cart, 4-wheeler, something I could put in the bed of this truck to give me more weight back there so that this truck would ride better. Because hey, listen, if you're towing for 6 or 7 hours a day, that might be something important to you, like to have a little bit more comfortable riding truck. But this ride is pretty stiff, and it's because it's not enough weight back there to squish those tires down. And that's probably the #1 reason why you want a dually, is so that you have the extra capacity for that heavy trailer. I mean, if I were able to get that toy hauler that my wife said no to, that was going to be around, I want to say it's like around 3,500 to 3,700 pounds of hitch weight. And I was going to max it out. I was going to put 100 gallons of water in it. I was going to put fuel. I was going to make sure I could get as close to 20,000 pounds as I could, you know, especially if we had gotten a side-by-side. I would have wanted to see how this truck would have handled that kind of weight, because I think it would have towed a lot better, and I think it would have handled it great. But with this setup here, it's just not ideal for me. And like I said, there's nothing wrong with having too much truck. I mean, you can never have too much truck. But for my scenario and how I tow, I like to have a little bit more, you know, feel back there, not, you know, versus having this stiffer riding truck that, you know, I don't feel the trailer back there. I mean, like, the only time you feel it is if you're at lower speeds, but I'm doing about 60 miles an hour. Actually, I'm doing 65. But I don't feel the trailer back there right now. Earlier in the city, you could feel it back there because of how, you know, the weight's distributed. It's just kind of everywhere on these types of trailers. So just keep that in mind. Part of the other reason why I'm doing this video is because we're going on a long trip with our GMC, and I'm going to be towing it cross country. So I want to get a good feel for this 1-ton dually, and then I'll have a chance to see how, you know, that truck does towing. because if it doesn't tow as nice as this one does, I probably will consider getting a weight distribution hitch. Now notice on this truck, it has the overloads, it has, you know, just a little bit more robust suspension compared to the 3/4 tons. It just has 5 liters in the main pack. There's no overloads. So that is definitely going to translate into probably a more bouncier ride. That's something I've always noticed with the 3/4 ton trucks, is they all bounce when they don't have those overloads. Because I feel like when I was towing my 5th wheel with a GMC 3/4 ton, it would bounce. But when I towed the F350s or even some of the F250s that have the overloads, I feel like those overloads kind of restrict that bounce that you get. The Ram 2500s do the exact same thing with the coil suspension. They're probably the worst, I would say, with the bounce. Oh yeah, this truck is just nice. It's really, you can't go wrong with the dually, but for me, I like to have a little bit more of a feel. And I've said this before, towing even my 5th wheel with this truck is just kind of boring. And with this, it's even worse. it's just no feel with it because it's so light. But let's go ahead and finish off the video. Right now I'm at 10 mpg. That's another thing. Oh no, that's wrong. I'm actually at 6.9, but it's probably a little bit better than that. It's just we've been going uphill, and because my speedometer doesn't read accurate, I'm probably more like around like 7.3, 7.4. But that's something else I will say too, is with the 3/4 ton, when I towed it from the dealer and we were kind of getting hit by a headwind, I was getting like 9 mpg. Now I drove 8 miles, so we're gonna go back the opposite direction. When we get to my house, I'll show you guys exactly where we end off at. So unfortunately my draggy just doesn't want to work today. It's very intermittent, but I did 0 to 30 in 5.77 seconds. I did the 0 to 60 in 13.86 seconds, and quarter mile came in around 19.92. The 8th mile came in around 13 seconds, 13.09 seconds basically. So yeah, I mean, with the 5th wheel, I was definitely like in a 20-second range with a quarter mile. So yeah, even with just, I figure about 7,700 pounds, it definitely does, you know, make a difference on these trucks. But I should be back at the house here, like I said, in about 15 minutes. I'll show you guys the fuel economy. That definitely hurt the fuel economy for sure. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna take it easy on the rest of the trip to see if I can kind of make up for some of this climbing I'm doing here. Just made it back to my neck of the woods, and like I said, at lower speeds, there's just like a lot more like jolts inside the truck from the trailer, and that's because, like I said, it's just not enough hitch weight. That's all it is. But you know, again, it's a dually, and so it's gonna ride stiffer regardless. That's why I tell people all the time. I got that question a lot when I got the truck. You know, how does it ride? And it rides like a dually, and that's with the independent front suspension. These trucks still ride pretty stiff. I would say Ram's single rear wheel 1 tons probably ride about the same as this, but the dually Rams, they ride stiffer than this for sure. But this is still pretty stiff. For me and most guys, this would be fine. I mean, I would definitely be okay with driving this, you know, unloaded all the time. But yeah, it is definitely stiffer. But I do have to make a confession. Unfortunately, I turned off the truck in my drive summary reset, so the MPG is actually 9.1. It's probably about 9.5, 9.6. That's what I love about this trailer so far. I've noticed that I get pretty good fuel economy when I tow this trailer. The 5th wheel, I mean, sometimes I can get like 10, but that was like perfect situation. Great temperatures, no inclines, anything like that. But I hope you guys liked the video. Like I said, if you're looking to tow something like this, I would venture to say I would probably be looking at some extra weight in the back of this bed, because I'm serious when I say this, these trucks ride so much better with weight, especially for long distances. And yeah, I mean, I think that if you are looking at like a 37, 38 foot travel trailer, this is probably the best scenario for something like that, or a long bed single rear wheel, because even though a lot of the 3/4 ton trucks, like my AT4X can tow a 37, 38 foot travel trailer, but I would not tow something like that without a weight distribution edge, because that's just too big of a trailer. But I feel like this is like the threshold for me for towing like this, and if I definitely feel like it's not safe to tow with the 3/4 ton, I'll let you guys know for sure. But I feel as though right now, from towing it from the dealership unloaded, and they do tow worse when they don't have a lot of weight on them, I feel like it was fine. So we'll know soon enough if I'm right or wrong. See you guys soon.